Filling time. Filling time.
Oh, buddy. Too exciting.
Hold on, man. What are we talking about? Did you see that? Did you see that performance?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the filling time part.
Come on,
Yes.
man. Lock in.
Oh,
Lock
you
in.
you lock in. Tired. Believe it or not.
Really?
I
It's
I,
Sunday. You
I
haven't
know
worked.
I rarely am, but yes,
You haven't
I
worked
know.
since Thursday, pal.
Since yesterday,
Hold on. I worked yesterday too.
I know you did. Well, you're a trooper, you know.
Are you saying that you put in more work on that than I did?
Oh, buddy, I would never do such a thing ever. All
Ah.
right, let's roll.
All right.
It is another edition of the High Hopes Podcast, sponsored by Miller Lite, official partner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tastes like Miller Time Philadelphia. Celebrate responsibly. Last pod, Jack, I opened up the pod being like, I know there's a lot to talk about, but can we just talk for a minute about how great Zack Wheeler is? And I thought it was his best outing of the season. And we talked about how good the curveball looked. And then, he one-ups it. Goes the complete game instead of 8. Obviously, it was like Tom from going back out there. Did quick work, was 11, 12 strikeouts. First complete game for Wheeler since the Roy Halladay game, the classic.
Who could forget?
Probably Wheeler's, number one like regular season moment as a Philly to this point. What do you say? What do you say? I saw your tweet and I think you're right. It's like, I don't really know what else to say. Like, he's unbelievable. Like, that's a Hall of Famer right there. You're watching the way he's pitching. That's the best pitcher in baseball. That's, that's as good as it gets. It's as good as it gets when we watch.
Get that guy a ring, dude. Get that guy a parade down Broad Street. He's hard to put into words. He is hard to put into words what he is doing right now. And he's getting better with age. And if he really retires,
it might be the best Zack Wheeler we've ever seen. Like, I was going to say that to you. How's that possible? Like, this is the best he's ever been. He's like 34 or whatever, 35. I don't know. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You and I are two of the biggest dad guys that I know, right?
Big time.
You can't retire in 2 years. You can't. He can't retire in 2 years. He's too good. He's too good. And so I was watching the game, sent on my phone because I'm in the process of signing 500 more copies of Ring the Bell. So it was a hands tired, but it's all good. It's all good because when you have that kind of masterclass and he gets to, first off, I'm glad that he gave him the opportunity for the 9th. I know the bullpen's not exactly the most locked down.
Yeah, and it was only 2 runs. I think all of us, there was not one Phillies fan who was upset to see Wheeler walk back out there. Like, not one.
Well, and what? The first pitch was 98, and I said to myself,
I was hitting 97, 98 the whole 9th inning. Like, it was fine. No problem.
Remember when maybe one member of this podcast, I don't know where you were, but remember when one member of this podcast was like, a little worried about Wheeler only being in the 94, 95 range. Well, he's just like living back in the 98 range like it's nothing.
Again, in the 9th inning at 100 pitches. He came out at 100 pitches. You're just like, bang. Let me just keep dealing.
And I'll tell you what, for a series this is a really annoying series.
Totally. The bats it was like pulling friggin' teeth. Like, other than Schwarber and, obviously the Bohm homer and today the Stotty homer. Stott, I was ready to come on here. I was expecting Stott to get out in that spot. I was ready to come on here and be like, this guy stings. Like, when he hits the ball, it feels like the ball actually gets slower off his bat. Like, it's like automatically, like, it's not like it just died. Like, it's like dead the moment he hits it. Like, and then he does that. But yeah, other than,
he's back.
It was very frustrating because Ranger and Wheeler obviously were, brilliant. And those 2 games, they get wins, but frustrating. And obviously Friday was a whole different story.
Well, and if they lost the game, where the only hit Wheeler allowed was a freaking Austin Hayes.
Oh, I know, dude. I know. I actually, so I'm thinking about it. So it was like through 4 there, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about, I'm like, oh, against the Reds feels familiar. I've seen this before. It also made me think, though, I was like, oh, that's got to be the most famous Phillies no hitter of all time. And then it's like, well, the Jim Bunning perfect game on Father's Day is pretty famous. And then it's like, oh, Rick Wise hit 2 home runs and threw a no hitter in a game. Like, so we got some famous ones. I feel like the playoff one has to be, but anyway,
the Rick Wise,
he had that kind of stuff today was the point. Like he had it. You felt like, whoa, this could be special today.
The Rick Wise game.
It's like the greatest game of players ever played, right? Like it has to be.
Dude, wake me up when Ohtani does that. All right, wake me up.
Yeah, exactly, Shohei, you loser.
Exactly right. No, but the Rick Wise game, I was actually thinking about the other day. That's like the Iron Man equivalent. Like the Iron Man, these guys and girls, they run a full marathon. They swim 2 miles.
It's crazy.
2 miles,
it's crazy.
And they bike 100 miles.
20 or is it 100? Wow, Jesus. It's got to be 100 if they run a marathon. Yeah.
A full marathon? Yeah. My father-in-law did that 2 years ago, and then my brother-in-law did it. But I'm still here. We don't need to. We don't need to go prove anything to anyone.
There are some things that like, not just I will never do, but like I am good for them and good for people who do it. I just can't understand ever saying to myself, I want to do that. I want to like put in the work that it takes to be able to do that. Sounds like just horrifying to me.
Yeah.
But props, props. I'm so impressed. I'm very impressed when people can do that.
I was very impressed sitting on the sidelines.
I love that you just compared Rick Wise, a no-hitter and 2 home runs in 1 day of baseball, to a freaking Iron Man competition.
Well, it's the fact that they got to run a marathon and bike 100 miles, and whatever. That's my comp. I'm sticking with it.
It's a great comp.
It's a horrible comp. It's a horrible comp, actually.
But look, I feel like, to your point, like they won 2 or 3. It felt like if Wheeler hadn't gone the complete game today and they just win that game, like let's say 3-2, let's say they bring like Strom in or something, or Romano or whoever, and he gives up a run and they win it close, like we're annoyed, I think, more than happy with this series, even though they won 2-3. I think the Wheeler complete game and the dominance, puts a fun stamp on it, and we're all going to be in a good mood, because that was, we don't get to see that ever again. I mean, Wheeler's the best pitcher in baseball. He hasn't thrown a complete game since 2021. He's as much of a horse as there is. Like, you don't see that kind of stuff that often. So, but it was a really annoying series, and it took some, again, like both games took late inning home runs for them to win, essentially, for them to score enough runs to back these, dominant pitching performances. Now, granted, Rangers was short, and we'll get into that whole thing, but so do you come out, forgetting the Wheeler part of it, like, let's take Wheeler out of the equation, because like you said, there's not much else to say. He's a freaking superstar. It was amazing, and I'm sure we'll continue to reference it throughout, because it was, again, an all-time great day for him. And he's been, and look, it just extends that June run. He gave up 2 runs in June. Guess what? He's given up 1 more and gone 9 more innings with 12 strikeouts or whatever. Yeah. But the weekend as a whole, if you take the Wheeler part out of it, because I come out of the weekend feeling so strongly that they have to go out and get a bat. Like, even if they bring up Justin Crawford, which I'm fine with, they need a real bat, a major league proven bat, in the worst way. That is other than Wheeler is a god, that is my number 1 takeaway from the weekend. And obviously Bryce doesn't look great. But
I want to spend at least 10 minutes talking about Bryce and how terrified I am about the future there. You want to talk about this? What you see right now, the smile that I'm putting on, it's strictly because of Zack Wheeler, and it's really just a brave face more than anything.
That's what I'm getting to. Like, Wheeler put a like a smile on something that probably, but also,
Friday was an all-time annoying game, and I apologize for the
glare. It looks like you're like the sun shining down on you. Well, it's like,
many people do say that.
Yeah. Angelic is the word.
It's what this podcast is.
That's right.
It's actually pretty horrible. I feel like if If Spike was watching this, I'd be getting a text about how annoyed he is
Oh, I know.
by the look. I met
You
my
know what?
parents.
You know what, Spike? If you're watching this, what are you doing, man? Don't watch us.
Come on.
Come
No,
on.
but
You have to have something better to do, please.
I'm at my parents' house and I'm in their office, and I did not factor in how annoying the sun would
Well,
be.
I'm in Zoe's room, if you can't tell.
Well, I can tell, yeah, because that dress that's behind you, it looks like the. Do you remember the viral debate of a purple dress?
It's got that gold dress kind of vibe to it. Yeah, totally.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So
it actually is that dress.
It is that dress. A viral sensation, as always.
I paid $3 million for it.
I'm sure you did. You know that morning show money. But yeah, the Friday all-time annoying game, they could have won it. Yesterday, I felt pretty solid. I mean, it was just
it was just annoying. Win. Yeah, if the Bohm homer helps, let's put it that way. But
what were they? I think they were 3 for 20, or maybe 4 for 28 with runners in scoring position.
Win, but it was a frustrating professional win. You know what
well,
I mean?
They should have kicked their ass this weekend.
The Reds are not good. Exactly. That's the main thing. The Reds are not good. That's really the main thing that should be remembered.
Yeah, and I like that we've gotten to the point. It feels like it happens a lot with the now are annoyed by a 2 or 3 series win.
It's been all year. I feel like it's been happening. It's been like a theme.
Yeah,
it's the who do you blame most for the win type of thing.
Man, there's nothing better. Are you annoyed by this win?
It's real like old school Eagles WIP type stuff. I appreciate it. It's good.
Miss it.
The Eagles are too good. That never happens with the Eagles anymore. Even that we still do it with the Eagles, and we did during the start at least.
So yeah, I mean, it was definitely an annoying series. I guess again, where I've kind of gotten to is I don't think I need to learn anything more about this team. I think I know who this team is. I think I know that the offense needs a bat, and I think they need a real bat. I think I know that this bullpen is a problem. And then Luzardo is throwing a wrench in what should be the best rotation of our lives with Ranger and Wheeler and Sanchez. And Luzardo, I think right now, I think the game is speeding up on him a little bit, and so in the most not trying to make an excuse for him, but just trying to look at him, because I thought he pitched really emotionally on Friday, which pitching emotionally can go one of two ways. I appreciate you holding in the yawn there, by the way. I could see a yawn coming. I could see a yawn coming.
I'm doing it.
I'm just trying to break down Jesus Luzardo on Friday.
I love it. I love it. It's amazing. You're doing a great job. It's really,
No, but so I thought he pitched really emotionally on Friday, and I think that can be good and it can be bad. And I think Friday was an example of it can be bad, because I thought that he was so worked up when things weren't going his way that he took himself out of the game. So, that kind of concerns me from an October standpoint, where you got to be locked in and make sure you're ready to go. It also concerned me from a bullpen standpoint. Like, all right, well, if we're going to put you in the bullpen, we're going to need you to get huge outs in big spots in playoff games. Like, you have to be able to handle those situations. So I think he let the game speed up on him, and that was pretty evident, I thought, early on. But credit again. I think the one thing, even for how annoying they can be at times, I think the one thing I give this team a lot of credit for is they do battle back in games. They don't just roll over, and they've done a better job of scoring late. They're not just hanging on, and they're usually doing a pretty good job of adding on late, even though the middle portion of the game is usually you want to gouge your eyes out with a spoon.
Yeah, and again, they've gotten contributions. And they've gotten contributions from guys when Marsh had the big hit, in the last game of the Padres series, and then you get the big one from Bohm the other night or last.
Schwarber's been back to being money, which is
Schwarber's just been great. I'm with you. Look, and I think with Luzardo too. I mean, look, something that we're gonna have to monitor, and it's just gonna be something to like it's possible that his arm is gonna go through periods of just being tired and being like, he has pitched already more than he did last year. He's never someone who stayed healthy through a season, or multiple seasons at this level. And, like there's a chance that, they're going to have to monitor that. And maybe he does need an IL stretch at some point to rest the arm and all that. So we'll see. All right. A couple things I want to get to from the weekend before the take bag and all that. But you mentioned it. And I don't know if I can handle 10 minutes of it. But, it's
I'm
not
just
that.
kidding.
I know you're not. I know. Yeah. But it was my way of saying it's like, man, it's not super fun to talk about. And look, I think with Bryce, obviously, is what we're saying. That we know, and we said, look, expect Bryce to struggle when he comes back. He always does. He might hit a homer in that first game back, but then he'll go through a super cold stretch. It feels like every single time he is injured, and a lot of those times, not this one in particular, a lot of times it feels like he's like white hot when he gets hurt, and then he, it just takes him a while to get going. And we know that the switch can flip quickly with him. Obviously, we're concerned about the power and the long-term ramifications of all this, but I mean, he's certainly lived up to that slow start out of injury. This might be the worst one yet. He's been awful. And I think this series, the worst he's looked. Obviously, he's only been in 2 series, but he looked just awful this weekend. And I think he struck out like 7 out of 10 plate appearances at some time. Like he has just been. You got the walk in that last one, which was like, yay, Bryce. And really, since he's back, it's really been like walk or a weak single. Has not been awesome so far. And also to the point of making, like, they need a bat, period. But like that's like they need Bryce. Like if Bryce doesn't get back to being Bryce, like they're in some trouble. But like Bryce has been tough.
Yeah. And the tough part is now, like I watch him, and now I've gotten to the point of like I get nervous watching him because it's like I've entered into protection mode with him to where I just want things to go right so he can reestablish himself and get back to being Bryce, but it just hasn't been that way this year. And like the at bats today and yesterday felt pretty non-competitive. It was just like, oh, nasty slider out of zone. No, I'm just gonna wave at it. And I don't know, man. It's really like the one thing that I'm hoping is not true, but I keep watching him and thinking if it is true, is like, are we just seeing a shell of Bryce Harper? I mean, are we just seeing a shell of a once great player that is going through injuries? And I think the injuries are now like, could they be affecting him mentally? I don't know.
Of course they
But
could. Of course
they
they
could.
could. Yeah,
They
of
could.
course they could.
They could.
Especially
And
especially if it's something with like that, it seems like something that's lingered and come back. Like if I'm Bryce, like I'd be scared. Like it'd be something where to your point, somebody cares about these records and the history and all that stuff. Like, and I can't get this wrist to feel better. And I know that it's like impeding, if nothing else, my power. Like, yeah, like I'm sure mentally that it's hard to be in the right place when that's going on, no matter how much, the wrist is affecting him.
yeah, so I feel so bummed about the Bryce situation because I think that we could be watching injuries, robbing ourselves of a great player. I mean, no matter what people say, Bryce was a great player for the Phillies, and hopefully he can return to being a great player for the Phillies. And like, I hope it's just early coming back from the injury kind of thing, but it's kind of been this way this entire year. There hasn't been that time where he really got on that 2-week tear and raised his batting average to 285, and all of a sudden he's got 20 home runs or like 15 home runs. We just haven't seen it, and he hasn't been able to kind of get on that sustainable run. He's looked off all year. He's looked in between all year. He hasn't looked like there used to be a time when I expected Bryce to come through in big moments, and now I hope, which I hate getting into the mindset of hope because that's when I get a little defensive and I start getting my back up a little bit. But I think that's where I've gotten to where like if there's 2 outs and runners on first and second, I'm almost like, oh, just get out so Bryce doesn't come up and we got to deal with like, oh, he's not the player that he used to be. So yeah, I'm really worried about the Bryce thing. I hope to I couldn't hope anymore that he gets on a roll here, gets going. Maybe San Fran, he loves hitting in San Fran. Maybe that calms him down. But man, the way that he's going right now is super, super concerning. And this weekend, even with the 2 hits on Friday, it ease any concerns there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna panic yet because we've seen him struggle so much coming out of injuries and all that. But to your point, it has been all season long. Like, at no point this season has it been like, oh, we're in a Bryce run. He's gotten going. He's feeling it. And I do think that, in a general sense, he is such a smart, patient, good hitter with such a great eye that if he has to learn to adjust to not have the power, that he can turn himself into a 300. I mean, not turn it. He's done it before. I think that he can age as a productive hitter, if you know what I mean, while not being Bryce Harper. But I think right now, I don't think that there's the chance that this is not something that he can figure out in season. That the injury, you know what I mean? That he's just not going to either feel good enough or comfortable enough or learn, if nothing else, something you hear football players talk all about. And obviously it's a much more, prolific thing in their sport, but a lot of guys learn to play with injuries, or injuries change how fast they are, how this, and you have to learn to adapt to what your body can do. I mean, we've seen it with pitchers all the time. I mean, you can't throw as hard. Guess what? You'll learn to change speeds better, learn a new pitch, all that. I mean, it's possible that Bryce is going to have to do that. It's just hard to kind of adjust on the fly. So I'm with you. It's concerning. I also, just as a separate thing, I don't know why he's hitting third and not second. I mean, it's probably because he wants to, but I mean, the way Schwarber's been against lefties, it feels like such a no-brainer to have Schwarber behind him. Like it feels, it just is strange. Like I know that, it's got to be Harper, right? That he wants to be a 3. I mean, yeah.
I that's what I think, and it does make me really like, of all the positions or spots to go get a bat. Obviously, a real cleanup hitter would be nice. I know that Bohm hit the home run yesterday, and that's fantastic. That's great. That's great. I did not want Alec Bohm hitting cleanup.
Think about how nice Bohm in the 6-hole sounds. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's like, clear some bases, maybe, rip a little like single or a double. Yeah, buddy, like good. You can't be in cleanup. What is
take that all day?
Yeah.
You take Bomer in the 5 through 7 in your lineup every day of the week. 4 is a stretch. Yeah. So going and getting a cleanup hitter would be great. But also going and getting someone with speed that's dynamic at the top, that you can bat either leadoff or second behind Trey, either one, and then push everyone down, really would lengthen this lineup out. Because I even watching today.
Duran, is that the kind of guy you're talking about there?
Well, Buck, I'm not giving up on the Buxton dream.
Well, but Buxton's got pop too. Buxton could bat 4 for you. I know he bats leadoff usually for the Twins, but he could bat 4.
Yeah, and I haven't been monitoring the Duran situation as close as I probably should, but he's like batting 6 today.
Yeah, but he's been playing better. He's had a really rough start to the season, but he's turned it on lately. But
yeah, would 100%.
Oh yeah, and under control for a while, and he's young and all that, or young for a baseball player.
Yep. So, but getting someone dynamic at the top and then just lengthening out the lineup a little bit.
They see another bat. They see another good hitter. Preferably, like ideally a right-handed power bat. Like that'd be awesome. But you know what? Ideally, then just a right-handed bat. But you know what? Just get a friggin' bat. Just get another guy who can hit in this lineup. It is the most important thing that they need, which is saying something, because no one has any faith in this bullpen whatsoever.
No. Although they did piece it together yesterday.
They did. Yeah, I want to get to that. So, anything else on Harper before I get to Ranger?
No.
Okay, good.
No more thoughts on
that. It was close to 10 minutes. All right, Ranger. A lot of people made a big deal of the 80 pitches thing, or 85 pitches, whatever it was. I think it was 80 he was pulled at for Romano in the 6th. Ranger was pitching well. Obviously, look, it worked. Romano got out of it. They pieced together. Bowman's the homer. They win the game, whatever. But, and then after Topper says, well, that was the plan, 85 pitches. He's pitched a lot, whatever, which, look, I'm fine with them limiting some of these guys. They have, to the point we talked about many times, because of how bad the bullpen is, they've had to really stretch some of these guys. I mean, look, Wheeler's gone 17 innings in his last 2 starts. Sanchez just went 8. We've seen Ranger go 7. It feels like every outing. So like, I don't I don't hate the idea of saying, all right, you know what, let's get you a little rest, breaks coming up, like kind of whatever, managing these guys. I'm fine with it. But it did seem like something that people kind of did the raised eyebrow. They're like, what's going on here? What'd you make of it?
Yeah, well, I certainly did not feel like it was going to be a win when he got pulled and needing
and Romano came in. I don't think anyone did. No,
4 innings out of this bullpen.
yeah,
So
just needing that spot out of Romano. I thought they were going to lose the game right there. Anyway,
and how about our known the only podcast that might ever have believed in Tanner Banks? I mean, what a performance! What a
you
guy!
can go back and listen. Look, these are all out there. Our pods don't go away. Go back and listen to every single pod. I guarantee you will not hear one bad word about Tanner Banks. Just glowing, positive. Like that's all you'll hear. Just the most positive things you could possibly want to hear about Tanner Banks. What a stud that guy is.
I do think he could probably get outs in the PSAC, but a good run for Tanner Banks. But yes, so the Ranger thing. Had this podcast been live, I would have been freaking out in the first inning when I saw 84-mile-an-hour cutters being thrown up in there, and I was
especially coming off the last start, which was the talking point that the velocity was down.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so is he just Jamie Moyer now? Is that where the current Rangers
Jamie had a successful career, my friend.
He did. So I think the velocity is certainly one to monitor there, but he really pitched his way through it. And I thought, middle of the game, the velocity got back up to 91 to 93. He touched 94, which is good. And I think it's smart. I know it's hindsight's 2020, so they won the game, and that makes it way easier to say it was smart. But you have to try to manage a guy like Ranger who has been
hurt,
have been going through injuries,
and also has consistently, kind of not been able to make it through a full season at the pitching at the same level that he's pitched at.
And I think early in the year they managed Sanchez. I mean, Sanchez didn't touch 90 pitches, I think, in 6 starts. So, I think I think they've done this. I wonder if they do it with Wheeler. I mean, you would hate to look back in October and say, well, do we have to push him in July because our bullpen was so shoddy that we had to run him into the ground in the middle of the season? Maybe if they can freaking go get some real bullpen pieces, they could rest some of these starters to where that they're not grinding into the ground in, heading into the postseason. So I like it on the whole. I understand, like, you have to win games to make the postseason, but I think it's a pretty sound strategy. As long as, again, they win the games. If they lose the games, everyone's going to start freaking out. They won't care. They won't care that you're doing this to manage innings. Like, we could sit here and say, it's smart, but fans don't care about smart. Fans want wins. And as long as they do it and they win games, it's not going to be a problem. But I really think it's a pretty sound strategy for a group that has been. I mean, there's been in the last month 4 games where you felt like they extended a starter when they didn't need to extend a starter because the bullpen is so average. So yeah, I'm fine with it. Rangers has not been able to manage his work, or has had a lot of workload the last couple of years, but it cannot also cost them wins.
All right, I have one more question for you before the take bag. But first, shout out to Miller Lite, the Miller Lite Bar of the Week. This week's Miller Lite Bar of the Week, out in your neck of the woods, it's the Square Bar in Westchester, where you can watch all Phillies games. The $3 Miller Lite can special. Go to squarebarwc.com. Shout out to Westchester.
Yeah, I got the Westchester Locals hat on right now. So
you are just the king of rap in Westchester. All right, last question, then the take bag. I believe 5 p.m. is the time. I'm not sure, but I know the All-Star game announced rosters are being announced and the Phillies starting. Here's my question for you: who makes it? Obviously, there'll be people who drop out, maybe somebody, but the initial announcement tonight, they're announcing the rosters. What Phillies will make it? I think we can say Zack Wheeler's a lock, and I think Schwarber's probably a lock. But
I feel pretty good about Zack Wheeler making it. That's my big take. I hope Sanchez makes it, dude. Sanchez Sanchez turning into a 2-time All-Star after after how his career here started.
And the contract we have him at, it's a Braves deal. It's unbelievable.
Well, the Braves are cooked. I don't know if you know that. The Braves are cooked. They use all their voodoo magic in 21.
They just got to worry about the Marlins. Just catch up to those Marlins and then go from there. So we say Wheeler and Schwarber. You agree Schwarber's a lock too, right? Like he will be in the.
I would hope so. There's no way. Is he
my prediction is my prediction is one of the two. I actually think it's going to be Ranger who makes it, and Sanchez doesn't.
I don't think
we'll
so.
see. You think it's going to be Sanchez? So. But you agree? I think it'll be three people who make it. I think it'll be Wheeler for sure, Schwarber, and I think one of the two makes it. I think both have a chance. I think Turner has a chance, but I think that's going to have to play out.
Do I have to start slandering Francisco Lindor every time I open this microphone to get Trey Turner in the All-Star game?
You do it more than enough on Twitter. I think everyone knows.
What are we talking about? Is it 256 or something? Can we relax on Francisco Lindor? I know Trey booed a ball that was right at him yesterday. He seems to have trouble with the ones that are right at him.
Right at him. Right at. He can make the most acrobatic dance, where it's like a choreographed play, and he's actually really great at throwing from off positions and stuff. But then it's like don't hit it at him. It was that old joke when it's like, oh, hit him in the worst place, the hands.
It's like when Steph Curry's so wide open that he misses.
Yeah, he's almost like exactly. Yeah.
Not to compare Trey Turner's defense to Steph Curry's shooting.
No, I don't think we should do that. I think that would be not the right.
But he's been really good defensively.
He deserves some credit. Some credit. I agree with you. All right.
Turner should make the All-Star game.
I agree. When you look at the shortstops in the National League, by the way, I've been thinking about a lot because the Harper Machado thing has come up again with the series, and the Harper contracts we talked a lot about. And I know Turner has a lot of years left, and we're going to be lamenting it, and we have lamented it and all that. But I will say, when you look at that class of shortstops, I was thinking about it a lot with Bogarts here. I mean, imagine having Bogarts here. Bogarts got 280 instead of 300. He's a disaster. He's borderline unplayable for them. Swanson's fine, but hasn't been a superstar or anything like that. And Correa has been hurt and had moments, but not great. Turner's actually been the best of those guys. I know that that's not a popular thing to say right now.
But I'm sick of it. He's Trey Turner's a good baseball player. I know he's got 300 million. He's been unbelievable this year.
He's been really good. He's really good.
After April 18th, he has been so. I know Schwarber exists, but he's been their best player.
Him and Schwarber.
There's always qualifiers with Trey Turner. He's a damn good, dynamic baseball player that makes this team better every single day. And he has not gone through the swoons. And even when he goes 0-for-4, it's not a dreadful 0-for-4.
No, he's been good, man. He's been good.
He was the only one touching Lodolo yesterday. If there's a lock for career high in strikeouts against the Phillies, it's Nick Lodolo. They've never hit him. And then I don't know. I
didn't mean to wind you up there. That was not the intent.
It's just there's this whole thing about Trey. It's he's great. Can we just shut up about Trey Turner? I just don't get it. He's obviously very good.
Take back.
He should be a two-time All-Star. If he's not a two-time All-Star, I'm gonna be sick. Gosh. All right. Arun Escobar has been promoted to Jersey Shore.
Oh, buddy.
Come on. And this is my yearly plea. This plea is strictly for maybe 10 people that care and maybe the higher ups in the organization if they happen to listen to this podcast. I beg of you to tear that stadium down in Jersey Shore and build a new one. It is dreadful. It is so huge. Hitters go there and die. Every single time they go there and all their numbers start falling apart. The stadium, I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure it's fine. But it's too big. It's way too big.
Tell him, Jack. Tell him.
I'm trying.
Jackie Engineer jumping into the chat.
Exactly right. Just build something new.
Just build a new one, guys. Come on.
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, I know a guy. I'll help you out. It's fine.
I don't care that he was over 5 today. Dante Norris heating up. I do want to break.
Buddy.
You went 3 for 3 at 2 walks yesterday. I'm pretty Norried up a little bit.
I'm excited. I've noticed that because when they first drafted him, you were, I would say, lukewarm on it. You're like, okay. I feel like every time I talk to you about Dante Nori on or off the pod, which is far more
We talk
times than
all
I
the
think
time off the pod about Dante Nori.
anyone that should talk probably about Dante Nori. I feel like you're like more and more into him each time I talk to you.
Yeah, listen, it's growing a little bit. It's growing a little bit.
Pause.
Yep.
Pause.
Yep. 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 Moniac's on fire, by the way, if you're looking for a trade deadline
want to talk
candidate.
about it. I don't want to talk about it. I love you, Mick. You're the man, dude.
He's
Keep
got a
wearing that
homer.
high hope, sure, but I can't talk about the fact that you would have the second most homers on the Phillies. Everyone tweeted it. We saw it. Thanks. I get it. I get it. I love you, Mick. Keep doing you, but I can't think about the how much rather I'd have you than other people.
He's got a homer and a triple. He's got a homer and a triple. I really do think. I think this next like week or two. It actually might be up until the trade deadline. I don't know, but I feel like it's just so make or break for Max Kepler because I think Marsh is playing well. Marsh is playing well enough to be warranting everyday playing status. And in center field, I mean, Rojas is obviously Rojas, but Crawford's clearly knocking on the doorstep. Like he's hitting, and it's not the prettiest 330. I get it, but he's hitting 330. You know, so I don't know what you want them to do. If he continues to knock on the doorstep, and again, they released Kepler or Merrifield last year on July 12th. Now he's been more. For as much as people like to compare the two, I mean, Kepler's
been better than Merrifield, yes, without a doubt. Merrifield was batting like 1-something, at this point. I guess Kepler's kind of close to that, but Kepler's hits exactly. Kepler's been a more productive player.
Yeah. So, but I think it is getting close to the time of like, well, what can we do here? I know you can send Rojas down if you wanted, but then you're just having another lefty up here. But I think from the standpoint of like adding another bat, maybe that's one to kind of look at with the Kepler situation. A name that we haven't talked a lot about, trade deadline wise, because now it's all we talk about, is the yearly plea for Joe Adell. I mean,
buddy.
At least now he's got 19
he's been white. I mean, he's been one of the best hitters in baseball the last month and a half or whatever. He's been awesome.
We need the Angels. The Angels are gonna trick themselves into believing that this team can like make the playoffs or something.
Of course they will. They'll do something stupid. Whatever it is, it'll be them.
And they won't trade anyone.
It does seem like Dave only calls like the Angels and the Pirates and a few other teams though when he's looking for things. So
I'm glad you brought up the Pirates because I know we were on the radio yesterday.
The thing, yeah.
Oh man, like and Dennis Santana, who is pitching to like a 1.5, but his walks per 9 is about 6.
Is it really 6?
Yeah, it's pretty up there,
dude. That's bad. That sounds like a great trade target. Great.
I'm just telling you, there is no bigger lock to come here and struggle more than Dennis Santana.
Oh, God, it's great.
Julio might have lied to me. His walks per 9 is like almost 2.
Oh, that's much better than 6. You scared me.
What did he send me? Because he was texting me about it yesterday.
Maybe it's been over. Julio, fake news.
Well, that's what people have said for years. People have always been. They're finally around.
Trying to submarine the high hope spot. That's what's happening. He's like,
sorry. So he's a 6.8 K per 9 guy, which is also.
So that's not great either.
a lot of pitch.
Not a lot, right? Yeah. At least we got a great defense.
Oh yeah, just you put the ball on the ground. We'll
back you up, boy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so Dennis Santana terrifies me. I would love Bednar. I mean, I would love.
We've long been pro Bednar on this pod.
Yep, coming after Renegade would just be phenomenal. But Joe Adell has like 19 home runs in the year. He can stand in center field. That's all we ask for. Just stand there.
Seriously, yeah, for real. Stand there.
I would. Taylor Ward has 20 plus home runs too, but he's hitting like 205. I don't know. At least Adell has some positional versatility. I don't know.
And excited, he's Taylor Ward's on the wrong side of 30, and Adell is not.
I don't think people are too fired up about the idea of adding Taylor Ward.
No.
Sosa continued. This is before the Stott home run, but Sosa was starting to get real consideration of just playing second base almost every day.
Yeah.
But then Stott hit the home run.
Yesterday he homered. So Sosa hit the home run to make it 1-0 or tie 1-1, whatever it was yesterday. Yeah.
Tie 1-1. Yeah. They got a lot of platoons, and that's if you got, I know the '93 team lived off platoons, but I don't know. Second
It's not.
base, center field, and
It's
left field.
not the right way to go about your business. Ideally,
It's pretty hard to do.
Especially when it's not like again like. It's not like Stott or Kepler is crushing right-handed pitching. Like it's not like, as you've pointed out, like, and he's not a platoon, but Romuto can't hit left-handed pitching. It's like for a platoon, like the way you do a platoon is like, oh, this guy matches lefties, this guy matches righties, boom, platoon. It's like
it's not this team.
They just platoon because they're just like, well, this guy's not good enough. He's not good enough either. Well, I guess he'll play against these guys and he plays against this guys and see what happens.
Dude, the lineup, I know the bullpen is so clearly not good enough either, but this lineup is so clearly not good enough.
Oh, it's not good enough.
And
it ain't it.
It's just they're just not a good offense. I don't know. Yeah. They've been annoying most of the year, besides like the one stretch before the Pirates series where they so yeah. And it's also Happy Draft Week. It is officially Draft Week. Yeah. So I guess the midweek pod.
Thursday. We'll do the pod Thursday because they got the series in San Francisco, Monday through Wednesday. So we'll do the pod Thursday, and as much time as you want on the draft. It's yours, buddy. It's yours. Cheers. All right. You got anything else in that bag it takes?
Yeah. No. It's a joyous Sunday pod, except with the Bryce conversation.
Yeah, the Bryce conversation's tough.
Yes, it is. But Zack Wheeler is the man, and that guy deserves a parade down Broad Street.
So pod on Thursday, 2-3 in San Francisco. They've been struggling. The Giants take advantage.
The Phillies never play well there. So
no, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate those games. I hate how late they are. I hate everything about it. Like I just.
Well, you're not staying up for them. You're not saying.
No, the first job, no chance. No chance. I'll stay up for the 3:45 game though. After I come watch you pitch.
Right. You've never seen me pitch, right?
Like not really. I've seen you, I've seen you throw, but I've never seen you like bear down, as they say. And again, like I hate when people
experience.
When people bring up the you pitching versus Elliott thing, and it's like that doesn't count. You didn't have a catcher. He was throwing to like a backstop. Like you could pitch without a catcher. You need a mitt. Like what are you talking about?
I'm also in much better shape now.
And regardless, like that just shouldn't count for anything. You were throwing to a backstop. Like that's not pitching. That's batting practice.
He didn't do anything, but
well, of course not. He literally, and I think he looked like he had never picked up a bat in his life. So yes, it's hard to hit that way.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
2 or 3.
2 or 3, always, yeah.
And we'll be back Thursday, and it's good. Good. See where
Zack Wheeler's the best.
Maybe Bryce will start hitting. Thank you, Zack Wheeler, for the magic that you're giving us. We are truly lucky to get to watch you play.